Okay. So yeah, as I was saying, perfect rune choices here. This is fine. I'm gonna see how you play this early laning phase. Auto, okay. W, okay. This is fine. Waiting off for the golem plating. Okay, here you should... Okay, so you probably should have walked up earlier here, and then just W'd and walked away. But you can do this at any point, so this is also fine. Once that Q3 from Yasuo is gone, you should definitely be looking for that. Okay, perfect. Auto, then just focusing on CSing. Very textbook Ryze laning phase so far. Just playing for auto attack, CSing, and hand flows. Speed it up a little. Here you could actually, because this guy is not going to hit level 2 yet, as you can see this minion is 156 health, like you can't just auto it.
Him,
yeah, to hit 2. You should actually be playing a little bit further up and just playing for that passive shield. So you can get rid of it and be able to poke him on the next spell cast. So yeah, you end up doing it, but you do it like 3 seconds later than what is ideal. And here this is actually a really bad trade for you because he is level 2. You want to stay away whenever you are at a level disadvantage. That makes sense.
Okay.
So yeah, I think this is fine. Okay. Yep, perfectly fine using your mana to CS.
Oh, and yeah, those two die.
Yep, no worries. I think even I would miss that sometimes. Fine, so your wave is in a pretty good spot. Okay, this is good. Okay, now your kit is unlocked essentially.
Yeah, I have Yasuo up there.
Yeah, the win wall. You actually don't have to be playing this far back because Yasuo,
Yeah.
let's say he EQs on you, he would probably get tower aggro.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, so you could be playing where your caster minions are, so you don't have to be this far back. Because let's say you're playing where the caster minions are, you would be able to poke him like right now, and he would take probably a WEQ. What I would do is I would WEQ him in this wave and make sure you bounce it off the minion because you can't really miss.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so no worries.
Yeah.
EQ is, it's not the best unless they're really, really deep into your territory. So
Alright.
yeah. Whenever his win wall is down, you actually out-trade him because you can just phase rush away. So what I would go for is if he's in the minion wave, you would just WEQ. If he's like out alone without being near minions, EWQ is fine.
Alright.
Okay. Here, could play for an auto attack. He could trade back on you. Okay. Not the best. WQ, EQ. I would personally WEQ. The Q is more likely to miss, and if he were to continue,
I can run away easily.
yeah. Okay, this wave is really good for you actually. Level 4 spike, very big. The one thing I would watch out for is this guy does have wind wall. Your jungler is over here. Fucking up the enemy jungler, so you should know that this is a 1v1 scenario. That should be the first thing that pops into your head. Here you should play for his shield again. This is really deep. This is a play that you're not actually going to be able to make it to. And note how your wave is shoving out, right? If you leave this wave, you're just going to lose all the CS. So here you should completely ignore the scenario. If this guy dies, it's his fault. Let's see what you do. Yep.
Hopefully I did.
Okay.
Let's see what happens.
This is good. This is good. You can actually save him, and your wave crashed here, so this is perfectly fine.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you did exactly what is correct. Here, let's see. He has ignite. You have TP. I'm gonna check your gold real quick. 700 is okay, I suppose, to base on. This is also fine, just receiving the wave and waiting for a more favorable purchase. Okay, I think he... Yeah, I think he actually dies if you, instead of Wing, like if you EW and just wait for Trundle to get in range and then you W, potentially he dies. Unfortunately, I can't rewind the replay because of the fucking bug, but...
Oh my god, that's just...
Yeah,
okay.
I'm pretty certain he dies if you just like keep autoing him, like keep him engaged, and then land your E mark on him, and then W.
What did I do in this case?
You basically just W'd him without the E mark on him. Like you went for max DPS rather than going for.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, I thought I was pushing that thing.
Yeah, this wave is good. Might have to TP. Yeah, I think you have to TP here because otherwise it's gonna crash. And then you can actually maintain the freeze and probably deny half of this wave. I'm gonna show you where Yasuo is right now. He's very far, so he's probably gonna lose 3 melee minions, which is gonna be about 20% of the level. And that incremental lead will be really good for you later on. So here, I would have TP to save this minion, and then hold it, and then have it deny maybe the whole wave, but ideally 3 of these melees at least, and then he's going to be down EXP.
Right.
This is okay too, like it's not optimal, but it's not bad, because you don't miss any XP. Oh, good usage of PP there. Okay. So far, pretty AFK farm game. Okay, let's see your pink ward placement. Okay, for pink wards, you want to place it as out of the brush that you can. This is more near the middle. Okay, so this is the level 6 wave. Anytime you play a solo lane, 540 around is the in-game timer that mid and top hit level 6. So whoever kills this wave first will be level 6 first. So you should be careful of Yasuo hitting level 6. Actually, he did miss a good amount of EXP, so he's not actually going to hit level 6. So sometimes it varies, but usually 540, people hit level 6. That's what you should think. Okay, perfect. I'm going to slow this down. Very good. Can't really blame you on that one. Okay, nice. Cut him off. Perfect. Your spell rotations there were pretty good.
Thanks.
AP. Fuck, I wish I could rewind, but I know it'll break the replay. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. You have 350 gold and you bought an Amp Tome. What you should have actually bought is Ionian Boots.
Okay.
That would do you so much better here. You actually don't need this armor. You really don't need it until later. Because if you're playing the lane properly, like it's not really going to be that trade heavy. Or if Yasuo tries to make it trade heavy by just going on you every time, like you can just call your jungler, or you can just pull the wave because most likely he's just going to auto shove because Yasuo has to queue the wave to build up tornado stacks. So regardless, you should be pretty safe. So not a big fan of this off armor.
Would you get it like if they have 2 ADs, like mid and jungle? Or does it just slow down your core items?
I really don't like it because this cloth armor, Ruby Crystal would do the same job, and it's actually in the build path to your first mythic, so that'd be so much better.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. So your lane opponent is down in the bot lane. This is a play you cannot respond to because you also don't have ulti. So here, this frame is when you should be thinking, what do I want to do? Or maybe even before, like while you're clearing the wave, you should be thinking, what do you want to do? Here, there's no play. Your ADC is chunked and so is your jungler. Top lane is a potential play. It's possible, but it's kind of a hypothetical play because you don't really know if it's going to be good or not. The most guaranteed play here is getting this one plate. Oh, okay. So this is actually really bad. So the thing about League is you really want to pick your fights wisely. And there's no guarantee that these bot laners, like the enemy bot laners right now, are going to stay and fight by the time you get here. So I would just go for this. And also what you want to think about is this wave is about to meet. Like if you're hitting this tower, it's going to be right here basically. And you can collect that next wave. And that's going to give you so much more than going to a play that may or may not happen. So, and keep in mind, all this thinking should have been done in the span of like 3 seconds, like 3 seconds ago.
I have a bad habit of not looking at side lanes enough, so I don't get enough information.
Okay.
So I just make big, dumb decision from not looking enough.
Okay. I think the number one thing that should tell you off that this is probably a bad play is just the health bars of your teammates.
Everyone's dead.
Yeah, these guys are non-existent. As far as you're concerned, this is a 2v2 when you go down there. Sal on the plate.
Lose plate. Oh.
Yeah, big time Sag. Okay, not bad. Here, if you want to stay on the map, I'm going to check your gold. 500, you definitely should stay on the map. So here, I would just go get this fruit and get back to laning, and you can actually probably kill this guy. I think you're...
I just have a feeling. We'll see.
Okay. I think your elo is an elo where you can actually play for solo kills. Obviously, Yasuo is one of the more annoying matchups, but like once you blow that win wall, it's all free game, Okay. Very good chunk. Probably can't do too much with it because most likely you don't know if this flashes up or not. Okay, so here this is good.
Go for it back.
You plate,
maybe plate,
and then base. Okay, perfect. I mean, so far this is really good gameplay, I'd say, for your rank. Like you're playing with, like you're getting a lot of CSPM. I'm not sure if it was intentional, but earlier when you said Trundle, like you did what was correct. Like you didn't like just leave your lane to like lose minions and go for a bad play. So far, so good. The only mistake so far is just like hovering down here and missing out on that one plate earlier.
Yep.
Okay. Check your gold. Lost chapter. Okay. But you see what I mean? Like this cloth armor is really like delaying your build. Yeah. One thing about Ryze is his kit is really fucking OP. If you can get Ionian boots as soon as you can.
Okay, yeah. If I didn't have that cloth armor, that would have just came easily.
Yeah, you would have Ionian boots for sure. Okay, then here this guy has to collect this wave. Every time you shove a wave in successfully, you should instantly think, what can I do here? You don't even have to be looking at the side lanes prior to the like killing the wave.
The movement. Yeah.
Yeah, it helps, but it's not necessary. As soon as you kill the wave, just look at what's happening. Probably top lane is the easiest play, and also whenever you are making a play, you ideally want to play where your jungler is, so you have that guaranteed even numbers or numbers advantage. So yeah, going top lane. This play should actually work out for you. Okay, so what you're doing here, your target selection is not the best here. Your number one priority should be hitting who you can, basically. This guy is trapped, like, he has to kill himself to this tower. So, yeah. And Trundle ends up dying. Oh shit, he doesn't die. Yikes. What a champion.
Yeah, I got lucky there.
Oh my god, what am I watching? Okay. But ideally, you would just kill Shyvana, like, hit who you can first. And this is something that also applies to mid-late game team fights. Let's say you see the enemy carry, like, and you think you can one-shot them, it's not really worth for you to dive into kill them. Because
Do whatever's directly in front of you.
yeah, precisely.
Yep.
Don't fuck your own positioning essentially. Yeah, Trundle would have probably lived. Here you can fight it if you want to, but you don't have to risk it at the same time. So, okay, he's really fucking up. So here I would definitely just run up this guy. Pretty easy kill. Q, E, Q, bam. Oh. Okay, so this is a big mistake. Kennen, I'm actually surprised he did this. Goes to the wave to collect this because you're not going to be there. What you should do is you should shove out one extra wave, and then just base.
I don't think I saw Kennen bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
And Everfrost, really good. Then your team does have Herald. So, whenever your team does have Herald, a lot of junglers, like even Nailo, will use Herald improperly. And I want you to understand that the most important tower in League of Legends is this tower. Okay? This mid tower is more important than any other fucking tower. Because this will give you pathway into wolves, into raptors, and then you can shove out much quicker and then get the sides a lot better. And this tower is fucking OP for mid lane for Ryze Ascent, especially.
Oh, sweet. Look at that.
This is pretty good. Shove. You can get this one plate, and when your team does have Herald like this, you don't really need to spend time like attacking the plates after like the third one.
Yeah, it's
This is just one shots, yeah. Okay, so here, I mean, this Drake is already dead, so it would be incorrect for you to go down here, especially because your Yuumi is in base, and this would be a 3v4. And anytime you're taking fights, if you're at a numbers disadvantage, you don't want to take it, no matter what. Unless you're literally 20k gold ahead. Because it's more likely for you to throw. So here what I would be thinking is... actually the wave is right here, and... So I would just get this next wave, and then see what you can do. Okay. Bit odd. Yeah, I mean Trundle kind of just griefed this one, honestly. I don't think he has to die. He has both his sums up. This is really good. Perfect. And you can actually 1v2 this if you so pleased. You don't have to either.
I was confident enough of that one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nothing that you really have to do it. Like, it's just an option is all. But because this wave is here, you have absolutely nothing to do. What you should be doing right now is either basing or roaming. So you could be around here right now and going to topside. Yeah, I think you just stay for the mid wave, which isn't bad either. The great thing about Ryze is like there's not really any bad options other than like going to bad place. Because you can just shove this and then go here afterwards. But if you did decide to go for the little bit riskier play and just like roam top, like this guy is probably just dead because he's up so far. Then you do have TP for any play that you want to cover. This guy is still here on the map. This you don't want to get baited by this, by the way. Like low health targets on their side, it's gonna be really hard for you to kill. Okay, perfect. Yikes. Man, I really wish I could rewind. Why
isn't it possible to rewind? Is this some...
because Riot client will break, or I mean, the replay will break if I do it. So kind of fucking close. Maybe it's worth it. Oh, fuck.
We'll see. I feel like it was...
And I really want to look at your combo. Alright, I'm just going to pray this doesn't break it. Worst case, I just 8 times back to the spot.
Oh.
It's broken. I hate my life.
I mean, you play League, so it's kind of natural.
True. Alright. We'll just speed on over to 13 minutes and see what on there. But that movement was actually really good. I see that you don't really play to... You don't fall for the like basic low elo traps, essentially. Which I think is extremely good.
Well, I found myself going to going to every fight I can nowadays. Like this one I was doing it gentle, but now I'm getting into the hard stuff. You know, I'm doing dumb stuff basically. I'm not really thinking.
Okay.
Piloting, that's where you want to forward.
Okay, so far your early game has been pretty good. It's probably like mid or late game stuff. I think that's the hardest part about Ryze.
Yeah, that's where I completely fuck it up.
Yeah. So far, I'm pretty impressed by your early game. I think you've only made like 2 mistakes.
And you can't skip it like directly to the point you want it as well. You have to fast forward.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's just bad.
We're almost there. Just a few more minutes.
I mean, they're making luck skins as the fucking game breaks.
Alright, almost to the promised land. Okay, this is fine, taking 1 kill, just getting out. Alright, so this movement is good. Yasuo can't really do anything. He also has Ignite, so he'll never have TP.
Maybe slow motion is good.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, Ryze combo is pretty easy once you have Everfrost. You just EW, Everfrost, and then QE. Okay, so your mistake is pretty obvious here. You EW'd, and then you Q'd, and then you Everfrosted, which I guess isn't the worst, but usually what you want to do is you just want to EW. Basically, you'll know the duration of the Everfrost, or I mean your EW route. Yeah, and if it'll expire before like your Everfrost goes, then you want to use it. Here EWQ Everfrost is actually okay because they have this guy doesn't have any tenacity, but normally you just want to EW Everfrost. But the mistake here is actually that you started running away like downwards instead of going for your next QEQ. Like you should just
that's right.
EW.
There's a Yumi there as well.
Yeah, EWQ Everfrost EQ, and then this guy's instantly done. Like this is the freest kill I've ever seen in my life. And what you're doing here is actually incorrect in terms of positioning and pathing. After you do your DPS, you should just run up, drop the tower aggro, because you're gonna. I mean, just think about the distance, right? You have to walk from here all the way down to here to drop tower aggro. Whereas when you're where this minion is right now, or originally.
I could have just thought about doing one more Q or something, and she would have.
Yeah, he was CC for 3 seconds. He should die.
Yeah.
So you're where this minion is, and for you to drop tower aggro, you just have to walk up like 1 second. Whereas you went for the.
There was the other people there.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be really under threat. Is a thing. If you're gonna go for this path, like this is fine, but you should really just use your DPS as soon as you can.
Okay.
And then just run away. Because this was a pretty free play. And it's actually pretty fucking bad for your game.
Yep.
Alright, 2 times forward now.
Okay, I think they just give me 2 for kills here. They're nice.
Okay. Okay. People really just love walking into a Fed Ryze. Alright, and then you just collect the wave under tower. Base, and then I'm gonna check your economy. 2.8k, okay. Okay.
It all changes after this.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Okay, this is bad. Okay, whenever you have a 1k bounty on your head, you need stopwatch. No matter fucking what, you need stopwatch. Okay?
Okay.
So, and if you want to finish Archangels, it'd actually be really bad for you to finish Archangels right now. It's not gonna be fully stacked. So you should always on use here, basically. But in general, after Everfrost, your immediate purchase should always be stopwatch. Okay. And then your next purchase depends on if you use your stopwatch or not. If you use your stopwatch, it goes on use. If you don't, you just go Archangels.
Did not know that. Thanks for it.
Sorry?
I didn't know about that, so quite useful.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Because Ryze is low range, like you're always going to be in the fights,
Right
you know.
in front of...
Yeah. Okay. It's pretty dark here. You do have TP. Also walk. It's kind of dangerous for you to TP under tower, so walking is fine here. And then you just... It's fine. You covered the play. Things up there with TP. So they committed their teleport to this play, so you don't have to really press for more. Yeah, you successfully counter their play. Here is kind of spooky. Kennen is top obviously, but he does have a good TP playing forward. So basically just position as conservatively as you can, which is what you're doing. Okay. This could be good as long as Kennen gets X. Okay. Yeah. As soon as that happens, it's instantly bad. You also didn't have to lose your flash.
Yeah, that's true. I think I went a bit too far in.
Yeah. You basically just walked into Nar's flash range, and then he just ulted you, and you lost your flash. Whereas if you just stay under tower and they try to make a play on you guys probably just wipe them because they're gonna be tower diving. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I guess you guys can defend this tower. Breaks up in 40. So regarding Drakes, this in your head should already be gone. Okay, the reason why is because your teammates are so late on the reset that these guys are just gonna be camping like near the Drake. Yeah, as they are. Like this is what they're gonna be doing. And you guys can't really enter versus it, so I would just give this Drake. I think Drake is something that really baits players into like throwing a lot. So,
basically, suicide watch on its Drake.
Yeah. It looks like your Trundle is going for the.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
What Nami gets it?
Yeah. So this is. Actually, yeah, 1k gold to Nami. I guess it's not the worst, but like this should never happen. The only drink you have to like actually have to contest is probably Soul. First three are like if you don't have the tempo for it or the setup for it, you don't really want to go there because it's so dark. And face checking this vision is really fucking hard. So definitely don't get baited by this.
The same mistake a second time for another Baron fight.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see it when it goes. And this is why like Ryze really needs stopwatch. I don't think it would have helped you there, but like classic example, you're pretty low range, so. Okay, and then just maximizing your farm, 148 CS, not bad. Here you should actually done Krogs. Reason being, this wave is right here, right? So it's not gonna crash. So you have absolutely nothing to do except just do Krogs.
No, I don't.
Alright. And let's say you're doing Krugs right now. This also gives you rotation into your jungle to potentially ult if the enemy team like overextends on mid wave.
Okay.
This is okay because you have TP and you see everybody. 5 are showing on the map. This means this lane is absolutely empty. This is really dangerous for your team to defend this tower though. Actually, there's no minions. But on this... Sorry?
I mean, just wait. Something very special happens.
Okay. But on the next wave that's coming in, it should be pretty dangerous for your team to do anything here. Oh, yikes. Okay. Not too bad. You also have Ryze.
I don't think I use it. There's a Yasuo, right? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'm out.
This fight is pretty doomed. Okay.
I think I should have backed at this point. There's no point for me to be here.
No, actually, I think it's pretty good that you're here. Because like you're the only champion with actual wave clear. Like Jhin can't clear this wave in time. They'll probably have to take him to tower.
By the way, your screens are okay. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay, so now's the time you kind of want to start side laning. Drake is up in 2 minutes. Their Baron threat isn't the worst. It isn't the best. So I would start probably going towards bot side right now. All right, and then your build is in a pretty good spot. Yeah, you're still really strong. So this game is definitely winnable. Game is pretty even. There's a fight going on here, but it doesn't concern you because there's absolutely no way for you to get there. Maybe if they overchase on this next wave, you can go.
Should I have went mid to begin with, or was going to the sideline first thing?
I think going to the side was fine. Because like them inting is the only thing you can do to prevent it is just ping them off from what they're doing.
Because I feel like I abandoned my team this game.
Think. Okay. Maybe if you're low elo, it might be better to just go straight mid, so your team doesn't
fights just always happen. Like when you go side lane, you just get aced in just 2 minutes. There's like a countdown that naturally happens.
Yeah. Okay. So I think if you have TP, it's correct for you to go down here, but because there's no vision, you kind of want to help your team get vision around mid lane. So I guess going mid is fine because I guess shit like this happens more often. This doesn't happen too much in Challenger, so.
Yeah, I'll still see that.
Okay. There's actually a window where the enemy team should be baroning right now, by the way. Whenever jungler plus like one important person is dead, one or more important person is dead, it's pretty free baron, so these guys should actually be on baron right now. Especially because you don't have TP.
Yep.
So what should have happened is they should have gone Baron. Alright, let's see. 20 seconds on this. Yeah. The good thing is MF actually has no mana. Which you're gonna see here. So you guys can actually contest this. Only because MF has no mana. So the way you would go about this is you would just spam ping that you want to contest this. Because I think Soul is actually worth contesting. It's actually not the worst though if you do give though, because it's not Elder. But these guys are set up incorrectly. If they're set up incorrectly like this, like if this is already the game state, like I think you kind of just have to give, or maybe you just fish for it. And what I mean by that is you just shove up mid. If it's not dead by then, after clearing mid, then I guess you can go fight it. Okay, and here this is exactly what I described. Like you guys can test this for sure. Yeah. Alright, what the fuck?
Oh my god, what
Okay. So MF is very far. what does this mean? This means you have numbers advantage. So this is a fight you want to play as soon as you can. Let me see if you have any wards. No, you don't have any wards. And your Trundle isn't actually giving you an entryway. And the thing that sucks is if your front line is not doing their job properly, you kind of just have to take the L in terms of like being able to walk up here and just position as optimally as you can given the scenario. So what you would do is you would have to go where Trundle is, kind of meet up with Kennen maybe, or you can even just Ryze ult to here and then approach the Drake from that direction. So positioning is really important. Here, this is probably just about the worst thing you can do. Ryze flank is non-existent, so this is actually really bad. Okay, they just let you walk in though, so now it doesn't actually look as bad because you can probably one-shot the tsunami. That bubble.
Kennen did his job really well.
Holy shit. Okay, not bad.
See what I do.
Alright, you gotta run.
Yeah.
You have Zhonya's, you'll be fine. But actually you made a big mistake chasing that kill.
Yeah, that was dumb.
As soon as you get a kill or multiple kills, you should be thinking, can I get anything off of this? And your brain should immediately go to towers, barons, and minions, okay? So here, 3 people are dead, meaning it's going to be 4v2. It's the exact same scenario I described earlier, like 4 minutes ago, where like the enemies killed your team. They could have gotten a free baron. This is your time to get a free baron. So what you should have done is you should have killed this Drake instantly, not chase this, and then you should be spam pinging this baron. And because Ryze is a champion that fucking one-shots baron, it's almost always good to go for these when the enemy jungler is dead, and 1 or more people aside from the enemy jungler is dead. Right. And also, like, you have people alive. Basically, if you have 2 numbers advantage, you can always pull baron. So after that, you should be on baron. Is what would have happened. So big missed opportunity actually. Like that would have gotten you like probably a 3 or 4k gold lead like after the baron siege. So just watch out for baron pull opportunities essentially. This is pretty rough. So one thing I want you to think about is when one of your teammates are in base, it's going to be pretty hard for you to pressure because you know for sure that one of your guys are not there, and for all you know, they could all be behind this MF. So
that's true. Yeah.
Just be very careful, essentially. Okay, you see. Jhin opts in for side lane, so you can just clear mid. Okay, and then I'm gonna check your gold, 1.6k. That's okay, I guess. You can base. Yep, perfect. And then you just start building towards the death cap. And please tell me you buy a pink ward. Oh no. Okay, every time you base, you should always buy at least 1 pink ward.
Okay.
It has more gold value than like an Amtome, so although it costs 75 gold, the info it gives is worth a lot more than 75 gold.
Alright. Hopefully I will see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, you can move up here. Bot lane doesn't matter that much.
Oh man, I think I do my second hilarious aim this way.
Okay. Oh, what the? Okay. Whenever you approach objectives, ideally you want to. What this Jhin is doing is wrong. Okay, you should never do this. When you want to approach an objective in the river, let's say it's Drake or Baron, you want to go through mid, okay? So you ride this mid wave, and then you kill the enemy's mid wave, and that will give you first access to river. What this guy's doing is... He could very well die, essentially.
I think I learned from him, though. I do what he does. So, we'll see.
Okay, yeah, this is horrible.
Yeah.
Let's say that bubble hits, you're dead, the fight is lost. Okay. So let's say you guys were here right now. It'd be so easy for you guys to just walk in.
Yeah.
Here when you have absolute
push, so we need to have vision there, right?
Yeah. If you have absolute zero vision on this Baron, you can always ult it because it reveals, and then that'll give you something to work off of. But ideally, you should be approaching from here, because always, 99% of scenarios. There are times where you approach from the side lane, like you go from here to here, or like from here to here.
Okay.
But 99% of the time, you just want to go from here to here. Anytime you go from this angle that you're doing right now, or this angle, or this angle, or this angle, like you have no ground to fall back to. Okay, the reason you go from here is you can actually fall back to, like, it's a straight line, right? But here, there's terrain. You're gonna get fucking.
And they have a nah, so
trapped. Yeah.
Use my brain cells.
I think this is good though. These are things like I'd say master and grandmaster players struggle with. Like anytime I see my teammates like approach from this angle or like this angle, I will danger ping the living shit out of them, and I will refuse to ever walk near them, because if they're gonna die, they're gonna just die alone. So
right.
So for the future, you'll know.
I and when I do danger ping people, they just get really pissed off. They take it as a personal indictment. And
I mean, if your teammates end, like sometimes it's unavoidable that your teammates will end. As long as you're not the one that's actually inting from like easily avoidable mistakes like this, games will always be winnable. Especially when you play a high impact champion like Ryze.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's not good. They get a free Baron.
Yeah. Okay, so this Baron is gone. What you should think, as soon as an objective is lost on one side of the map, you want to try and attack the opposite side of the map, because most likely they will not have vision set up. And I'm just gonna show all vision. See how all the wards are up here, and they have no wards down here. So the only place that's safe to go.
Other side.
Yeah. So you can like put Pinks and River down here. Maybe they get caught. So let's say you just. I mean, this is fine going mid as well. But let's say you just sprinted here. You probably just like pick MF. And this is because like this guy walked through an area he had no vision of. So you can find like comeback plays like that if you are playing to the side that you have vision of, essentially.
Okay.
But here, when you see this and your Trundle is fucking doomed, you should instantly think this Gnar is actually fucking griefing. This is what's called weak side. This Gnar is playing up aggressively where he has 0 teammates, no one can help him. And him playing aggressively on weak side is really fucking grief. So here you can actually just like go for a pick on this guy. And I hope your team goes for it.
I try. Oh,
okay.
Yeah, it failed.
It ends up being bad because you didn't like ult behind him. This is a play where you can actually ult behind him. Jin will follow you up with, actually he only has W. But Kennen can sprint. You can CC him for a while, and it's just 4v1. So definitely an angle where you should have ulted.
Just to clear something up, I'm not familiar with what weak side is. So is it the side where there's no objective?
Weak side? Okay, so
no one's there.
Weak side differs for... It always changes, basically. What I meant by weak side is Gnar. Okay, this is his weak side, okay? When he's playing up here earlier. It's his weak side because he has no one else to back him up. Basically, weak side is... If you don't have anyone to back you up, that is your weak side. So for you guys... bot is your weak side because you don't really have anyone to back you up, and that's why Trundle died, because he's playing this far up on his weak side.
Yeah, so I didn't see any of the enemies, so I wasn't able to tell whether they were top side. Obviously, there's an objective forming bot, so would I assume that everyone else is also bot?
Right now, yes, you should assume that everyone is bot. This is their strong side.
Half the time, man, people don't make decisions that make sense.
Yeah.
I try to stick with, your idea, but it's not very consistent.
For you, or like for your teammates, do you think?
Me included, like everyone.
Yeah.
Like, we just
don't
think logically, I guess.
I would say that's like the difference between a high elo player and like a low elo player. Like, from what I saw from your like first 12 minutes, you played it as textbook, as possible. Like, you basically played like how I would have, and then like 20 minutes onwards, I think, is where the issues are. because you don't have the same experience and logic of how you want to approach objectives, and I think that's just the main thing for you to work on. So here is very dangerous. I'm just gonna toggle vision. Here it's dark for you, like you have no info really, but to me, there are two possibilities. Either they're all here, or they're like all around here. Yeah. So I'm gonna just toggle the vision. Yep, most of them are here. So, and you can't really tell until like you see one of them, you know. So as soon as you see this MF, you should realize that okay, they're all bot side. That should be the instant thought that pops into your head. And then this objective coming up, there's only one way you can approach this, and you can't do it from bot lane. You always have to be S5 going together. So here you shouldn't really worry about this bot wave. There are times where you can ignore waves, and this is one of those times. Whenever an objective is immediately going to be executed upon, that is when you ignore the wave. So here, I would sync up with Jhin, Trundle in this wave, shove out mid, and then just go into river from mid. So what you end up doing is you probably just stay around bot. You guys have no vision control. And because you guys didn't enter with the wave earlier, you guys could be here right now pretty safely because Yasuo was over here. It's so much more dangerous now because you guys didn't do what would be proper. And the thing just dies. So mistake here was basically greeting for the bot wave, not going to mid for approaching the objective. I'd say the league is pretty simple in terms of like the patterns.
Yeah.
It's basically just early game, and then you just approach objective from mid like every 5 minutes, and then there's probably going to be team fights. Pretty formulaic.
Okay.
So yeah.
So always from a lane, not through the jungle. Like you don't want to take the raptor.
Yeah. Walking through here is pretty fucking bad. You want to shove out the mid wave before the enemies does. Basically, whoever kills this wave first when approaching the objective will have control of the objective, unless they really hold their ground here. But 99% of scenarios, whoever gets this wave first will get the objective.
All right.
And 99% of the time, you don't want to approach from a side lane. You want to approach from mid. So, the number one. Huh?
Can you tell me like why approaching from a side lane is a bad idea?
Okay, so if you approach from a side lane, right?
Yeah.
They can zone you off from this angle, right? Let's say you're approaching Drake. And at the same time, they can send one person to just shove mid, right? And then mid is the shortest lane. That means this wave travels quicker than side lanes. So if a base race were to occur, they would end the game quicker. So that's why you don't want to approach from side lane. If that makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. That's why like contesting this wave is so fucking important in pro play. Because whoever gets control of this wave gets control of the game. And that should be what you think of every time you approach an objective. Okay, positioning. I mean, you're alive, so it's fine. Okay, fine.
I know, but yeah.
Let's see. You don't have flash. You have Zanya's. Try walking up. Okay, you're just playing defensive. E, W, Q, E, Q. Perfect. Oh. Right, not bad all in all, actually. Okay, Jhin is just... Yikes. Yeah. Okay, I mean, Jhin griefed that. Yeah. Okay, so here, there's only one way you guys can survive this. It's just playing over here. Kennen doesn't have ulti. All you can do is try to wave clear. So if Kennen dies anywhere not near his Nexus Tower, he's griefing. Actually, they don't even have Baron, so this wave should die pretty quickly. Nice.
Should have gotten that one. think I was.
This is okay. Okay, not bad. What you did is actually correct because Gnar did have flash R.
Yeah.
So if you walked up, you would have died and the game would have ended for sure.
Oh, I think it's the death scene.
Okay.
No zombies.
Yeah, walked up too far. You would have been fine if you just played for time instead of walking up.
Yeah.
And then people just die. Okay. Let me just end. So from what I can tell, your early game is actually really good. I think just being aware of the positions of the waves is important, and then also considering whether a play you're going to go for is a coin flip or not. Usually, wave is pretty free.
Yep.
Oh my god. Yikes.
Oh, okay, I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, it's just League of Legends being broken. But yeah, I'd say for mid late game, your positioning in team fights is a bit too aggressive sometimes.
Yep.
Actually, maybe your positioning in team fights isn't the issue. It's just how you approach objectives. The way you approach objectives is really bad for a carry player.
Right.
So what I want you to do is when your teammates are like approaching incorrectly, I want you to ping a path for them. You have 6 pings and just ping help, 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 like around mid lane. So like here, like you would just ping a line of help, 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 and it makes like a line basically. Or like you ping them danger if they're trying to approach from this angle, you know.
All right.
Would be pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't really try to direct what my team does. I just eventually just group up and hope for the best.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Trying to direct your team is extremely OP in solo queue. I think it's probably 20% of the reason of my wins. So if you can do that, and with this knowledge that I've given you of like approaching objectives from mid lane, like that, like half of master tier players don't even fucking know, they should help you climb. Because mechanically speaking, aside from this one time where you like failed to dive on Nami, I'd say you play pretty mechanically well. Ryze is a pretty simple champion to play mechanically. Like it's all just point and click.
That's right.
And then your CSPM is pretty good. So yeah, I'd just say approaching objectives. Don't approach from the wrong angle, and never be the one to face check if you're playing Ryze. Never be the one to face check. You always want to let like Trundle or some dirty inter to face check for you. So yeah, yeah. I'd say I would say that's about it. Do you have any questions?
So just about other champions. So I also play a little bit of Cassiopeia. Definitely don't play as much, and the first 15 games are probably just inting. Because how would your game plan with Cassiopeia vary compared to Ryze?
The one difference.
Go on. Yeah.
The one difference between Cassiopeia and Ryze is Ryze has much better wave clear, whereas Cassio is a lot more skirmishy. But the early game, like the first 5 minutes, is about the same. The only difference is Cassio can probably solo kill if the lane opponent griefs, right? But what I would say is the most similar thing is playing for mana flow stacks if you are going phase rush. Cassiopeia usually goes Conquer with Ravenous Hunter and Taste of Blood.
Yeah, that's what I go.
Yeah, so in that case, you would just play for level 3. Once you're level 3, your E does a shit ton of damage. Probably does around 110, which is insane for a 0.7-second cooldown, right? So mana conservation is the number one thing. And then once you hit level 3, you can solo kill players with just QE.
Also, I find positioning with her quite hard. Like if you make one mistake, you're dead.
Okay. What you want to do is you want to be as far back and as hard to reach as possible. If you're face checking like you did this game as Ryze, as Cassiopeia, you're gonna die so much more like easily because Ryze is quite a bit tankier because you go Everfrost, whereas Cassio goes Liandry's. And also you won't have phase rush most likely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, how do you know whether a game is winnable or not? Like, and how do you keep your attitude positive all the time? I feel like I was pretty positive with this one, but other games I'm like, oh, screw this, FF.
when my team is like really fucking inting, like they lost all their plates and like they're down a couple levels. All right. There are two ways to approach it. Either you FF15. If that doesn't work, like FF18 or FF21 is really like diminished return because you've already wasted that much time. So you might as well play it out. Is my mentality. As long as you don't int, there is always a chance for you to win. Basically, like avoiding the plays you did this game, like where you base check into river like 2 or 3 times, right? If you avoid those plays, every game is winnable. If you just team fight better than them, which is definitely possible because Ryze is pretty OP in team fights.
Okay.
So there's always a chance. But if you're really tilted and you really feel like you're not going to win, like you can FF. Like it's.
I have another question. So
yeah.
Sometimes I have a secondary as top lane, right? Sometimes I play Ryze top.
Yeah.
And I find that I might have an okay early game. It goes fine, but I feel like I have no front line and team fights all of the time. What do you do in those cases?
In those cases, what's really important is numbers advantage. And in general, in every game, numbers advantage is really important because that is what decides like if you win a fight or not. Whoever goes first with more numbers or even numbers will usually win the fight. Yeah. If you have absolutely no tanks, how you're gonna play is like you don't want to be the engager. Remember I told you want to position as safely as possible on Ryze because as long as you're alive to do DPS, you will be impacting the team fight. So you can basically just wait for the enemies to go on like anybody that's like not you. Or even if they do go on you, you can use your Zhonya's to outplay. You know, that's how you would approach fighting if you have 0 tanks. Just basically wait for them to go on you. Make sure you're behind your teammates so they take all the cooldowns and damage. And you're free to DPS.
I have another one.
Yeah.
I have a lot of questions. Sorry.
No worries.
But, I tend to lose against people like Xerath mid, people with a lot of early. I feel like I have no control over how I can win lanes. How would you go about those ones?
Okay, so you should always have control of lanes as Ryze, except versus probably Irelia. That's the only champion that absolutely just dicks on you. Yeah. So when you are playing versus these champions that outrange you, such as like Syndra, Xerath, Lux, right? The one thing that you have on them is your wave clear. You will always clear waves quicker than them. Once you're level 4, level 5, level 6, your EQ does so much damage to a wave that you can just shove the wave and just have it be PvE and like you just roam the side lanes. You don't even have to interact with them. So just dodge their poke and like clear waves better than them. And if you're struggling in the first 3 or 4 levels, you're probably not managing your mana properly. So avoid using your mana to CS if you can until you're at least level 3 or level 5. Because that's when your Qs, the mana cost decreases by 2, and the damage on it increases by around 30 each level. So if you have enough mana, like they can't really react. You can always shove a wave.
What champion do you usually permaban? Irelia?
Sona, because Sona's fucking OP.
Right.
Yeah, but Sona and Lolilo is pretty shit, so it's pretty different from you. If you are trying to play Ryze every game, I would ban Irelia.
I usually ban Zed because I don't know, I have a really low success rate against him. So, well, how would you? I know you have a few videos on those, but if you could summarize, that would be cool.
I mean, just getting Ruby Crystal. That's actually the one matchup where I would not blame you for getting a cloth armor. Yeah, Yasuo's kind of whatever. Like he doesn't one-shot burst. Zed, Kiana, they kind of do. So, I would definitely just clear the wave. And what you want to watch out for is his W. Zed, like as soon as he throws out his Q or his W, like he's useless for the next 6 seconds. Because his Q is on a 6-second cooldown. So, as long as you don't just fucking run melee into his like range while his fucking cooldowns are up, like you should be fine. Because you have way better wave clear. So.
Alright, man. You've cleared a lot of things up, especially the approaching objectives through mid lane rather than the jungle or side lanes.
Yeah, always go through mid if you can, and shove out the wave. Whoever gets first access to the wave is always going to be in the advantageous position. And just think about where the wave is. Like if you look on the minimap, like the waves are mirrored, so just think about how long it'll take for it to crash. That's a pretty OP cheat for like knowing where to be on the map.
Yeah. And when's this gonna be uploaded to YouTube, by the way? Maybe I might rewatch it sometime later.
Yeah, sure. I can upload it tonight. But yeah, I would say I'm honestly really impressed by your early game. Like your first 12 minutes, it was pretty good. You also know how to play through your mana flows properly.
Yep.
Just, I'd say also look back on like, you know how I said, oh, you should be doing this in the lane 3 seconds earlier than you are right now.
Yep.
Try to look at that because you want to optimize how you play mechanically. But other than that, I'd say I'm very fucking impressed from what I saw.
Yeah.
And
I've been in G4, G3, skirting around there for quite a long time. I want to get out.
yeah,
Pain.
just stay alive in League of Legends, and you'll probably win. Like my approach to climbing solo queue is whoever ints less will win. Basically,
Okay.
whoever makes less mistakes. You don't have to make any flashy plays. Just make less mistakes, and you'll end up winning.
Yeah.
And this is true for every elo.
That's very useful.
Yeah.
All right then, man. I'm satisfied.
All right.
Thank you.
Hit me up in the DMs if you have any like other questions that pop up to mind.
All right.
Yeah.
No worries.
Appreciate
Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it as well, man. Thank you.
All right. See you then.
All right, I'll see ya. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, guys. Definitely really impressed by what I saw from this guy. Like, his early game was pretty fucking clean. But I guess it's just the later on stages that maybe people struggle with. Like, so maybe you'll see this in your own gameplay, guys. But just approach objectives properly, and the game should be a lot easier. All right. Thanks for watching, y'all. I'll see you next time.